everything we do is subjective. And if everything is subjective, that means it's based on, it becomes what? Selfish driven, which means it's no longer sacrificial. And when marriage is not sacrificial, it's not marriage anymore. We're going to get into that further along as we go. But marriage is more about sacrificial. This is why in this generation, this is why we have to reestablish what marriage is. Because we have a generation that believes and we don't have the competencies of the Christ conviction. This is why if it get hard, we already have the ability within us. We already know how much we're willing to take and what we're willing not to take. This is the language today, all right? That means I have a limit, and that limit is subjective. It's not I came in and I confessed under the word of God. But even though I said that, I actually had a hidden limit. So it wasn't for better or for worse. It wasn't for richer or for, we joke about it. By the grace of God, when I do some weddings, I've heard some women even say, what I'm doing, even if it's a wedding or if it's a renewal. A couple of times I heard the women say, well, it just depends on how much poor you're talking about. And we joke about it. No, it's not. It can be like, oh, but honestly, it's embedded in us. So it's better to get the tools now to understand, what am I willing to sacrifice? And how far am I willing to sacrifice? Because it's only fair, and I want everybody to hear me. And this is why I want to I always tell couples, right now, while you're single, take off the mask. It's only fair that I know you for what you can handle and who you are. It's not fair to you for me to accept a lesser you, and it's not fair to me for you to accept a lesser me. So don't take me to the steakhouse, take me to the coffee shop so we can talk. Because it's not fair to you that I put an expectation on you that I made for you. It's not fair to you that I put an expectation on you that you never even confessed to. All right? So I'm not handling souls properly. I'm not handling truth properly. So that's not fair to you. So it's not to hide around it's not to be hiding around our disagreements and maybe things that we don't want to touch because we just want peace. No, that's not peace. We got to touch everything so we can know who we are, we can know where we are, and where we're trying to go. And am I willing to handle what your submission is? Okay? So I want everybody to understand these first steps is I'm learning this person so I can know and make sure that it's fair to you. I need to be fair to you. I need to be fair to myself. But it's not fair for us to make something and have an expectation on each other that we didn't understand. That's not fair. Because now you wasted my time all these years because of what you made me to be in your head. We think, well, that's not fair because you never became who I wanted you to be. Well, I never knew what you wanted me to be. You see, we only see our side of it because I'm broken and I can't believe you didn't become what you said you were going to become and what you were supposed to become. And what for me, in my head, I had this vision of what you were supposed to become. All right. So now you never became and you only think about you. But how about what you just did to that soul? Because if you was as mature that you say you are, why did you expect that from them without understanding the tools, the precepts that govern truth? Does that make sense? So we want to make sure that we understand this is not about we going to put makeup on for each other and look pretty until we say I do. This is about I need to know who you really are and I need to know your threshold of what you actually can handle because it's only there, right? And we're going to get down to more reasons why, right? But you're in the blessed place, but you're in the best place because you can actually learn, right? And you shouldn't be learning under compulsion. Does that make sense? You shouldn't be under compulsion. If you are, that means you're going too fast. And we're going to know why we're doing that too. And there's a couple of things that you can look at here in your notes that the purpose of marriage is also for. Number one, companionship, unity and oneness, procreation and family, reflection of God's relationship with his people, and mutual support and help. So when you go home, I want you to study these notes and you can get a greater understanding of these types of purposes that God has designed for his family, his marriage to become. These are reflections of what marriage is supposed to be.